Hello, welcome to an all-new Marvel Cast Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers, Defenders to Agent X and Outlaw. I'm Ashley Hubley, your Omega level host, and joining me today is Ultimate Ciaran Marchant.
You know, recording with both of you really does take maximum effort.
Oh, also joining us, the astonishing Blight.
Meta joke.
Oh my god. Okay, Hideo Gina.
Meta.
Yes, today we're getting meta and
Mark
fourth wall
Zuckerberg.
breaking
Sorry.
and, inside baseball, because we're talking about Deadpool. A film that's been in development since before Wolverine Origins was a thing. It finally saw the light of day after a leaked piece of screen testing footage. So yes, please be aware we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about plot themes and ending of the movie. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. With that said, let's jump into our discussion of Deadpool.
You're probably thinking this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the suit just turned that other guy into a kebab. Surprise, this is a different kind of superhero story. To tell it right, we gotta take you back before I squeezed into red spandex.
Mr. Wilson, you've recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
We can fight this.
What if I told you we can cure you and give you abilities most men only dream of?
I'd say that you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one, like Slap Chop, more shake weighty. If I never see you again, know that I love you.
When I'm finished, your mutated cells will heal anything. But you still think we're making you a superhero. We're making you a super slave. Oh, come on.
You gonna leave me all alone here with Jose Canseco?
Whatever they did to me made my body indestructible. But my face...
No.
Look at me. No, look at it.
No, I don't want to.
Exactly. I didn't ask to be super, and I'm no hero. But when you find out your worst enemy is after your best girl, the time has come to be a superhero.
Released 12th February 2016, directed by Tim Miller, written by Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick, based on Deadpool by Fabian, Nicieza, and Rob Liefeld, starring Ryan Reynolds, Morena, Baccarin, Ed Skrien, TJ Miller, Gina, Carano, and Brianna, Hildebrand. This is the origin story of the former Special Forces operative turned mercenary Wade Wilson, who, after being subjected to a rogue experiment that leaves him with accelerated healing powers, adopts the alter ego Deadpool. Armed with his new abilities and a dark, twisted sense of humor, Deadpool hunts down the man who nearly destroyed his life. Ciaran, what do you think of Deadpool on this rewatch?
This movie's fun. I think overall it's great. I remember at the time it felt like it was almost very impressive that Ryan Reynolds was able to, and the team were able to capture Deadpool so well, with so many other things kind of falling short around it. So no, I think Deadpool's great. I love the use of music in this movie. I appreciate Ryan Reynolds' performance greatly. I think he does a really good job. This movie's kind of cringy anytime TJ Miller's on the screen. I feel like
this cast does not age well.
No, this cast in general has not aged very well at all. But I also think it does very well at making Deadpool have an emotional pull throughout the entire movie. I think you could very easily lean into the funny stuff and going overly hard on the funny stuff, but this movie does find its balance very well with the emotional holds of it, as well as the comedic timing.
Dylan, what do you think of Deadpool?
I think Deadpool's fine. I didn't love it when it released. I'm sort of in the minority, I guess. It's got some funny bits that I think, they make for good little one-off gags, but I don't think overall it's a highly engaging movie. I think Deadpool, Wade's not a super likable character. I don't think most of the characters are likable. I think the action just CGI, especially on a rewatching, a lot of it's very Play-Doh-y. And yeah, I don't think there's any particularly good fight scenes, which is disappointing considering it's like a character who fights hand-to-hand a lot. Yep, it's fine.
Do you want to disagree on some of those points, Gary?
No, it's just no. It's just a very classic Dylan.
This
Opinion
movie
on
sucks.
Something like this. Yeah, no, it's very Dylan. So no. There's nothing to disagree with, so to speak.
Yeah, I had a good time. Like, obviously, I saw it in cinemas, but I haven't watched it since. So the thing that
You've watched
kind
it
of
since.
I haven't watched it
This will
since.
be my third time I watched it. I watched it in
Yeah.
cinemas, I watched it at home, and I've watched it again. So I'm 3 times sure that this is average.
The thing that surprised me on rewatch was the structure of the movie and how
Back
like
and forth.
yeah, like obviously I knew there was like a bit of jumping around, but like 60% of the movie, I guess, technically takes place on that bridge or that motorway.
That
You know,
one
because
week
obviously a lot of it is then flashbacks. You know, so yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun. Obviously, Deadpool's a cool character, and like, I don't think you need to necessarily be likable to be an interesting character. And obviously, Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds has enough charisma to like get you invested, especially if you're inclined to the type of humor that he's delivering. You know, I think there's a very pivotal scene that sets the tone of when Wade and Vanessa are like first meeting up, and they're like kind of going back and forth about who had the worst childhood. Clearly,
It's a Monty
hopefully,
Python sketch ripoff. So, you know.
yeah. And a lot of people like Monty Python. You know, it's pretty popular.
I guarantee most people who like this movie have no idea what Monty Python is.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was an interesting way to tackle his story. Also, it's interesting. We're doing this mutant rewatch. Is Deadpool a mutant?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
They
is that-
literally
but
cover it in a movie.
they've just forcibly made his mutant gene trigger just without them being allowed to say the word mutant.
Didn't they say mutant at one point?
No, they say mutant. They're allowed
Do
to say
they?
mutant. This is a Fox movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No,
There's
no.
literally X-Men in this movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No,
are you
why am I
talking
thinking
about?
about? I don't know. I had a brain fart for a second. No, so why are you questioning if he's a mutant? That's confusing. then.
Because, you know, he's not a mutant until they perform experiments on him.
Yeah.
But it's just
So?
the mutant gene. It just took that to trigger the mutant gene.
Other people, it takes their parents dying or whatever. So, you know. does
Yeah.
that
No,
not-
it's a
Or it
puberty
takes
thing.
them-
It's always been a puberty thing.
No, it hasn't.
No.
Sometimes it's
For the
there's
most
the
part,
wrong.
yeah.
Sometimes it's just the wrong music is playing on the radio, and they need to change the fucking radio station.
Hmm.
No, that was early onset puberty.
That, what are you, a fucking...
Puberty's...
Huh?
Let's not talk about Dark Phoenix anymore. You know, I had a good time. I enjoyed this story. I think the key thing here is the Deadpool Vanessa relationship, which was showcased a thing that I don't think a lot of people thought of before and have since, and that's pegging.
No one thought of pegging until this movie.
No one thought
No
of pegging
one at all.
and tied
The
it
lesbians said, thank God. Thank you, Deadpool. Thank you, Marvel. You've solved their problem. Pegging.
The fact he went for the lesbians is fucking hilarious. That is the last group of people I would.
Why not?
Some people enjoy that sensation of having it, you know. But pegging and tying it to International Women's Day, you know that, you know,
Yep.
and that whole
I just think
sex montage.
The fact that it's You know what? Actually, I kind of wish we could have watched it together because I feel like sitting with you watching that sex montage might be the most awkward experience in all.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't know why.
I don't think it was that bad.
It's.
I wouldn't want to be sitting next to my mum watching it, but
I've watched this movie with my parents. That was the
I
second
watched
time
this
it with
movie.
my
I
parents.
think I took my
Yeah.
dad to the cinema to watch this movie. So, yeah. It's,
yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun. There's a lot of like, I don't know if it works as like a cohesive story, and there's definitely moments where it like kind of like falls into stereotypical like superhero kind of fare, which is like disappointing in this movie that is trying to be so, you know, fun and over the top and like poke fun at those kind of tropes and that kind of thing. But yeah, I enjoy like, you know, Dopinder is a great addition, you know, driving the taxi, kidnapping his handsome cousin. You know, we get Colossus and
Third version of Colossus, I think.
The best version. No,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
only the second.
And we also get Negasonic Teenage Warhead,
Who is great.
who is great and is a fun, you know, it's fun banter, you know.
And you get a transphobe.
I mean, she does get beat up a bunch in this movie, so I mean, and she wasn't outwardly transphobic at the time.
She was just inwardly transphobic.
Just inwardly.
Yeah.
And TJ Miller was just inwardly a fuckhead. Like,
Oh no, he was
and
outwardly a
sex
fuckhead at
pest.
the time as well, I believe.
Okay, and just inwardly a sex pest.
Yeah, so yeah.
Cast this movie.
I mean, 2 out of 8 is, I mean, not great, but
yeah, not great.
sure, not
So,
the worst. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed like the whole, you know, storyline of Deadpool getting cancer and like getting the experimental treatment and, you know, his motivations and that kind of stuff, and him getting fucked with by Ajax / Francis, who, you know, I'm pretty sure Ed Skrien left Game of Thrones to do this movie, right?
I hope not.
Because he was what's his the
He
Yeah,
was fucking yeah, he was
the original what's his face?
yeah
that
And then
guy.
replaced him.
the
Man with no face.
Nope.
no he was the first
Dario.
Yeah.
that's it.
Whatever his name. Yeah, there.
Yeah, Dario. He liked the Khaleesi.
Yeah.
He had a very bad wig when he was playing it.
No, I read it wrong here. No, well, I didn't get it wrong, but he left Game of Thrones to star in the transporter refueled.
Oh, that's right. He was in that.
Worth it.
Yikes.
You know, correct career move. So yeah, I mean, I thought the set pieces were fun. Like Ciaran said, I like utilized the music really well. You know,
I adored like the opening credit scene of this movie. Like I think it's really good. Like in terms of just
what the jokes of you know, all the names and that kind of stuff.
like
and
the names
CGI.
and like going into it with salt and pepper, and then like the just Deadpool fighting throughout it. I just thought that was very Deadpool-esque. It just kind of captured the comic book character very well right out the gates, in my opinion, at least.
I think my biggest problem with the movie is that it thinks it's doing like a ultra Deadpool poking fun at the genre, all that sort of stuff, but it just falls into so many tropes of the genre.
No, I could definitely say that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
of course they steal her girlfriend right before he goes to tell her she's back, you know? Of course he forgets his guns and, you know.
No.
Of course he gets cancer
I
at
feel
that
like
moment.
no. I think like he forgets his guns, but that's mostly because they didn't have the budget.
Like if I say 4-4 breaking movie, what movie comes to your head, Ash? Like is it actually this?
No. None are actually coming to my mind right now. So
Alright,
it
cool.
might be because it's the most recent.
True. I mean, my like classics is Ferris Bueller.
Yeah,
which
I was
this
going to say
movie does a
Ferris.
bit on,
Yeah,
and then Blazing Saddles, which is an insanity of a movie. And I feel like the problem with this movie is a lot of people talk about this just having like, oh, the jokes are so funny, they're 4-4 breaking, all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, sure, if this is the only like 4-4 breaking movie you've seen, but I feel like maybe because
I do think that this movie, watching it now in 2024, this movie is just it isn't so much Deadpool anymore. It's just who Ryan Reynolds is now.
yeah.
like this kind of style of humor and his acting in this character is just who Ryan Reynolds is at this point in his career. And I remember at the time it was very, it felt different. It felt very Deadpool. Now so much I do feel like it is just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoy Ryan Reynolds, but it just kind of maybe takes some of the specialness out of this movie in particular.
Yeah. Dylan, what's the most marvelous moment of the movie?
Let's go with when Deadpool. No, I got nothing.
You have to have something.
You gotta have something. You can't be totally...
Marvelous moment. Come back to me. What do you think?
Ciaran, what's the most marvelous moment
Oh my
of Deadpool?
God. I'll stick with the opening. The opening is, in terms of a set piece, I think it's the best set piece in the movie. It does a great job of not only making it high octane and thing is, right, I feel like, especially at the time, watching that set piece was like a breath of fresh air because
Got it. Continue.
Your movie at that point in time, your movie kind of staple for Deadpool was the abomination that was X-Men original Origins, like Wolverine's Origins. So
yeah,
this movie feels like a breath of fresh air the moment they play through that segment, even if it's a flashback, even if they kind of jump back and forth with it. I think it is the best scene in this movie as a whole.
Okay, Dylan, have you got a most marvelous moment?
When Deadpool tries to punch Colossus in the nuts and then breaks his hand and keeps kicking him and breaks all his arms, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead's in the background just laughing. That's good shit.
That's good shit. I'm going to say the final confrontation, I thought it was pretty good. Interesting set piece. Interesting location. Like this abandoned ship on a shipping dock.
Abandoned, helicarrier sort of thing is what it looks like.
Well, it's like a massive cargo ship or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It looks like a fucking Avengers or some shit like that.
It could be, yeah. I thought as well. When it comes toppling down, I thought that's pretty impressive. So, Dylan, who's the mutant of the movie?
Colossus.
Ciaran?
Deadpool. Learn to be better.
Okay. Dupinder.
What?
Who isn't a mutant, but I think he is the character of this movie because I find him fucking hilarious. Like,
What if he is a mutant?
What if he is? We'll find out one day. But I think just even the how small it is, if maybe you don't, it could be easily missed on the fact that he does have his handsome cousin in the boot of his car and he's gonna fucking murder him is just, I just think the whole character, the whole is just done so well and could very easily be a really bad stereotype and could very easily be very offensive to Indian people. I think it's done very well in this movie, and it kind of goes to show why he's even more of a bigger part in the next movie.
Yeah, it's Colossus. He plays the excellent straight man to Deadpool's zany, over the top, funny man. He's the moral center.
Stop this now, Wade.
Stop. You get 4 and 5 moments in your life to prove that you're a hero. If you just you're waffling on too long. Just the way they redesigned him, to be metallic the entire movie. Joking about him being a CGI character the entire time. That's really good. I love his design. Obviously, he's really bigger, so when he's in the cab, he's all squished in and that kind of stuff. And the way he just drags Teenage Negasonic Warhead into the X-Jet, come on. I thought it was really fun, so he's great. You know what else is great? I love Deadpool's mask in this, which I can't remember. Did Spider-Man come out before this? Spider-Man.
Just.
No, because I think this was
Homecoming.
around the time of Civil War, right?
No, this came out.
This came out 2016. No,
Yeah.
2017, did I say?
So Spider-Man was 2017, I thought, as well, actually.
No, this came out 2016. Spider-Man Homecoming was 2017. So this was first.
Yeah, okay. I thought this came out 2017 as well, but
So yeah, you know, getting the eyes, you know, I think is like such a like making that mask expressive. You know, is so important for so many of the jokes and that kind of stuff, and delivery. So, yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about from Deadpool? You know, I will say my favorite joke, obviously the ongoing joke of Francis, his name being Francis, him making fun of it. The thing that made me laugh the most is him piling up all the bodies on the ground with in the shape of Francis. Do you guys have any other jokes you want to shout out?
he has an ugly face.
Yeah, well, I
penis.
did. It's maybe not the joke, but just the opening Wade Wilson segment with the pizza and the actual kid that he was with, and that he just took a shit in the litter box. But just that whole scene, and very much
What litter box?
like, yeah, exactly. I think
Fucking
that
bowl of cereal
seems
on top of the counter or something.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? The blatant foreshadowing of Cable being in the next movie.
Yeah.
The end credits.
I can't tell you
I
what
mean-
Cable will be in the next one.
Calling it a shot. Yeah. It's impressive at the very least. Who would have guessed the Deadpool movie would be successful enough to let them do that?
Not Fox.
Also, I love all the jokes about Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. All the references, which, you know, of why we're getting Deadpool and Wolverine later this year. So,
Nearly 10 years after this movie
including
release,
him wearing a stapled-on mask cutout of Hugh Jackman. Fun. So, yeah. Let us know what you thought of Deadpool by going to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter or jump to Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, leave us 5 stars and equally 5 stars, or just tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. I will say, him in the hyperbaric chamber thing, super fucked up. That as a torture idea, messed up.
like basically killing and reviving you over and over and over.
Yeah. Fucking Ajax. Fucking Francis.
Fucking
Francis.
Alright, make sure you watch Deadpool 2 and join us next week for another all new Marvelcast.
Shoot, baby, shoot, baby, shoot, baby,
Shoot da doo da doo. Shoot da doo. Shoot da.
That's a good song in the movie. I don't like X Gun and Give It To You. That got worn out.
There's two on the nose a little bit.
Yeah.
I do enjoy them stopping when they realise he forgot the guns and then restarting it, I guess.
That's funny though.